Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Engineer YouTube. So till the previous videos we have learned the various topics of SQL, right, which includes the creation of database, insertion of data, and all of those basic topics which are included in our course. So now today we are going to understand about SQL joins. So as the word says joins, joins means combination of two things. For example, if you take an example of two natural numbers of mathematics, which is 2 and 3. So if we combine them, they usually gives the result 5. So basically, combination requires or joining requires two things to collab to form one thing, right? So here over in the SQL, we will deal with joins in terms of tables, right? We will combine two tables in order to form a desired table with respect to certain conditions. So let's directly get into the main content in order to have understanding what exactly joins are, and we will understand everything in this topic in a single video. So without wasting the time, let's get started. Okay, so SQL join clause states that it basically combines data from two or more tables based on their related column between them. For example, if you watch the table over here, there are two tables, right, which includes the data of customer and another includes the data of orders, right? As you can see, they include the columns as customer ID, first name, and this table includes order ID, amount, customers, right? As you can see, in the order ID 3 and 5, similarly in the customer ID 3 and 5, these two rows are same, right? These two rows are same. Customer ID this and customer ID this, they basically are same. So basically we can combine them, and because they are same, and we can combine them based on their relation since they have same IDs. So as we combine them, they basically represent the first name and the amount, right? Because we have combined them. That's exactly join states. So join basically helps us to combine data in the form of their related columns between them, right? So let's understand what exactly types of joins are. So basically joins are broadly classified into four types. First one is inner join, second one is left outer join, third is right outer join, and the fourth one is full outer join. So as a picture that you are watching right here, basically I have pasted this in order to have you more understanding over the type of joins. As you can see, the first one is inner join, left join, right join, full outer join. So let's understand one by one, and so that you can deal with every of those five and have basic concept with the help of example which we are going to further use in the SQL workbench. So okay, let's understand the first type of join, which is our inner join. So basically, inner join states that according to this, it returns the record that have same values. For example, the picture that you're watching right here, it is basically these diagrams are basically called as Venn diagrams, which help us to understand the real context with the help of this diagram, right? So as you can see, the table A and table B, these are two tables, and between them, which is the intersected part of them, right? So the color is there, right? So basically this shows that they have common area, right, which is sharing by both the tables. So similarly, in terms of records, the table A record and table B record, they have particular common record between them. So basically inner joins gives that record, it returns that records which is common between two tables, right? So let's understand the syntax of it. So basically this is the same way. Basically how it works, the syntax, first you need to select the columns from table A. Let's say first one is table A and the second one is table B, and you are applying inner join between table A, table B. So selecting columns, you can select more than one columns, right? If you want to select data in a complex manner, so you can select more than one columns. No such restriction won't be there that you need to select only one column. You can select as many as you want. So select column from table A, applying inner join over table B. So table B and table A are in inner join, and what is the context of them? We are applying such that table A dot column is equal to table B dot column name, right? So basically we are fetching that data which data is belonging to table A and table B. They have common data, right? So basically that's how syntax works. You can also understand this with the help of example written over here. Like you have selected all data. Well, that's why you have selected star from customer. As you can see, what I have done, customer can be written as C. You can also use notations in order to not write the complete table name, so that you can write the code in a more easy manner. And applying inner join, and you can also write payment as P, such that on customer s dot customer, because s was the customer table and it includes the customer id, that column. So customer id of customer is equal to customer id of payment. So these two tables should have same data. That's why the intersected data or the common data will be called now. So that's all about the theoretical part of inner join. Let's directly jump back to our SQL workbench in order to have more understanding with the help of an example. Okay, so without directly jumping over to the example of the inner join, let me first introduce with the data set. So basically, I have created a data set, as you can see over here, known as company, which includes two tables. First one is customer and second one is payment, and includes the columns as customer ID, first name, last name, email, and address ID. And similarly, the payment contains customer ID, amount, mode of payment, payment date, and that's it. So basically there are 5 users, and for the sake of example I have taken, you can select as many as you can. So basically I have taken 5 examples in order to have you more clarity over the operations. So let's understand them one by one. So now I'm going to use an example for this. So basically applying inner join over the data, right? So let me first show you the data in terms of tables, right? So let me use the query select star from customer and let me execute this. Sorry. So basically this is the table 1, which is our customer, and similarly with the payments table you can check them as this. Okay, so there are 2 tables of these. So now you might have familiarity how data actually looks. So now you understand the operation of inner join. Okay, so now I'm selecting the columns from these 2 tables. So now I have selected these columns in the form as customer ID from first table, which is customer, first name from the customer, last name from the customer, email from customer, payment table now. So I have included the amount from payment. So basically I have taken short notations in order to write the full table name. So you can also do this. So I have taken mode of payment from payment method, payment, selected payment date from payment. Now applying the inner join over them. So selecting first table customer C and applying inner join with payment P over the condition customer ID of customer table must be equal to customer ID of payment table. So let me execute this query. So now I am executing this query by selecting, okay. So as you can see, inner join states the common data. It basically extracts the common data between 2 tables. So as you can see, with the help of customer ID, it has fetched the data of customers, right? So customer ID 1 fetched the data of Mary Smith, includes email, their amount, mode of payment, payment date, similarly all of those data. So basically now you might have understood how basically inner join works. So let's understand another type of join, which is our left join. Okay, so left join returns all of the records from left table and the match record from the right table. So basically according to Venn diagram, as you can see, the left table contains the entire color and along the color which includes the common portion between them. So in a nutshell, you can understand that according to left join, it basically fetch the data of left table and matched record from the right table. Right. So let's again understand the syntax of left join. So basically you need to first select the columns from particular table A, then applying the left join query with table B and over the condition such that table A dot column name must be table B dot column name. So this is the basic condition, and this is basic example I have taken. You can also check basically select star from customer as C. Similar previous data set example I have taken over here, applying the left join payment over the payment as P such that S dot customer ID must be P dot customer ID. So let's again directly jump back to our SQL workbench in order to have discussion of the example of left join. Okay, now we are inside our SQL workbench. So basically now what I have changed one thing, basically previously we have 5 people. Now we have 6th people known as John D, which includes their email address and his order ID in the customer section, right? But as you can see inside this payment table, so it do not contain his data. So we will apply the left join, because according to left join, what we have understood, it basically fetch the left table entire data with the common portion between the right data and left data, right? So let's understand how basically left join works. As the previous part, what I have done, I have selected the columns from the customer ID and the columns from the payment, right? Now we are applying the left join. So basically I have selected the columns and applying from customer C and applying the left join between customer C and payment P such that customer customer ID from customer table must be same as customer ID from the payment table. So let me execute this query over here. So I think there is some sort of syntax error. Basically on checking, I have seen this kind of data is there. So let me again execute this left join. So let me select my query. So I'm selecting this query and applying this. So okay, so as you can see, it gives the data of the left table entirely because we have 6 people right here. And as you can see in the right table, this null is showing because they don't have common data, because the data in the sixth row of the payment table was nothing. So that's why it fetched null. So I hope you have now clarity how this left join works. So in a nutshell, you can understand the left join basically fetches out the data of left table completely, and similarly the common data between left and the right table. If there is no common data, it will fetch the null, as you can write over here. So let's now understand how right join works. Okay, so similarly, as you have learned how left join works, in the similar fashion, you can understand the contradictory of left join is right join. So according to it, it returns all the records from the right table and the match record from the left table. Similarly, as in the Venn diagram, you can check that right table is completely filled along with the common portion with the left data. So similarly, you can think of it fetch the right table data along with the common data of the left table. So let's understand the syntax. The syntax is same as that of left join, but as you can see right here, basically it first you need to select the column then table, applying the right join between two tables and having conditions such that the common data between table A and table B must be same. So let's directly jump back to example of the same table, but I have to change a data set because in the left table there was some sort of data and in the right table there was some sort of another data. So let me change the type of data in order to have you more clarity how this right join works. So basically now what I have done, I have basically put changes inside the main data, which is our customers and the payment table, right? So let me change the spelling of them. So basically what I've done, if you want to like check the customer table, right? So let me execute this query, select star from customers, right? Customer, and let me execute this. So over the execution, I think there is some sort of, so I have basically known it as customers. So let me execute it again. Okay, so as you can see, the data of the customers of 5 customers has been shown up over here, which is Elise, Bob, Charlie, Tiana, Edward, and including their emails. Now, what I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you the data of payment table, right? So select star from payments, right? Okay, so when I will execute this, so it shows me the data in the form of their payment ID, date, customer ID, and amount. So previously what we were doing, we were having the payment mode, but this time we are having payment ID along with the payment date, customer ID, and their amount, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the right join, right? The right join. So basically, so what I'm going to do is I will first select, rather than selecting all of those basic columns by writing their name, what I'm going to do, I'm using select star from customers, applying the right join right join with payments table, payments. I think there is some sort of mistake error, customer, over the condition such that customer dot customer underscore id must be equals to payments dot customer underscore id. So checking this query again, what I have done, I have selected the columns first and applying the inner right join between the customer table and customers table and payments table, right? Over the condition such that customer id of customers must be customer id of the payments, right? So when I will execute this query, okay, so basically now I have executed this query. So what it is showing, right? As you can see, let me expand this view. So basically what is showing, it is showing the name of the customers. As you can see, two names are there because it, they can be duplicate, right? Because they basically having different data. I've applied the primary key but if primary key would have been there, so there wouldn't be any duplicacy. So basically it is duplicating because of their different data. And right join basically represents the data of right table along with the data of the left table, which is common data between them. As you can see in this fifth row, right, this is showing null and along with the payment ID, with the payment date, customer ID, and their amount. So basically this data would haven't been matching with the left table, right? So that's why it has been shown up over here. In the previously left join, what we were doing, it was showing the left data along with the data of the right table, which was matching with the left table, and it was also denoting the left table, the right table data which is not matching, which is showing the null. Similarly in the left, right. So left join can be represented as contradictory of right join, and the similar way right join also can be considered as the contradictory of left join. So that's all for this. I hope you have now understood the example. So basically I have written this query from scratch for using the different data so that you can understand it in a very concise manner. So that's it all. Now we are going to the final part of this video, which will be the full outer join. So basically full outer join, as you can see in the Venn diagram, the table A and table B are completely colored with this intersection portion between them. So accordingly to the definition, full outer join returns all of those records whenever there is a match either in the left table or the right table. If there is a match in any of the one table, right, so we use this full outer join. So basically one thing which I just want to let you know, in the previous cases, in what we have done a couple of examples inside the video, right, of each join, which was from inner join to left join to right join, right. We have considered every example in our SQL workbench. But if we consider about the full outer join, you cannot do directly full outer join inside SQL workbench. So MySQL does not explicitly support a full outer join, but you can simulate one by combining a left join and right join, applying a union operator between them. So basically now what I'm going to do, I'm going to discuss an example inside that main SQL workbench with the help of this union operator, because union help us to combine, right? You might have understood about the SQL operators in our previous videos. So if you haven't checked out them, you can check them out. I will definitely put that link in the description box so that you can might have an idea how SQL operators usually works. So without basically wasting time, let's get back to our SQL workbench in order to understanding the main example of it, how basically we can apply the full outer join in the SQL workbench. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to apply the same query over that previous example for which we have taken the right join, but we are using here full outer join. As you can see, I'm applying it over here in order to have you let understanding why MySQL does not support the full outer join directly. So over this, when I'm executing this query, over the same basically syntax, right, selecting star from customers, applying full outer between customers table and the payments table over the condition such that customer ID from the customers table must be equals to customer ID from the payments table. So when I'm going to apply over here, so basically it showing the error. It's showing the error. You have an error in SQL. Check that manual that corresponds to your MySQL Server version for the right syntax near right outer join. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use now authentic way how we can basically apply the full outer join in this. Okay, so I will put changes inside this. So basically applying the left join for the first table, left join between customers and payments. Similarly applying the union between these two, union, and copying the same line of code. And okay, so what I have done, I've changed the code. Okay, so now what I have done, I have basically written the queries of both left join and right join of these for the same database that we are using for the left join for the right join query. Basically what I have done, I have written the queries of both. Basically I have told you previously that we usually write this query in the same manner as we write in the left join in the right join. So basically applying a union between them, which is basically combines the left outer join and right outer join. So let me execute this query over here. So basically after this execution, it's usually showing me all of those data of both of the table either matching or not, right? Because as you can see in the fifth row, basically it is showing the data of left table, which is showing the name, the customer ID, name, last name, email address, and along with the data of payment table, payment ID, payment date, customer ID, amount. So basically it is null, right? Because it's not matching. But if in the sixth row you can check with similarly with the left table, it is also showing null because it would have been matching, right? So and along with the right table, the data have been shown up over here. So as you now will proceed, you basically might have understood how we can use this joins. Okay, so that's all for this video. If you like this video, hit that like button, and if you have any doubt, do comment us out. I'll definitely try to reach you out as soon as possible. And if you're liking our content, do subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you never miss any update from us. So thank you for watching with this video and have a nice day.